Saturday again, and I'm out in the shop working on my C10, and I literally just had a giant aha moment. So we built this truck on our frame table, and so I don't know if a lot of you know, but like we back half this truck. So we cut we cut the frame off right behind the rear cab mounts. So we had the frame welded to the chassis table at ride height. So we, built mounts that raise the frame up to the amount of ground clearance we wanted under the frame rails, and then built all the rear section. Somewhere in my measurements, I got the shock mounts location wrong. Here's where I had the aha moment. So to go back, the problems that I have suffered with for 3 or 4 years has been lack of traction with this truck. And the problem is, you can see it in photos and videos, my inside tire, the truck has a little bit of body roll, so the inside tire constantly wants to get off the ground. I've played with the roll center in the back by moving panhard bars up and down, and it helps. I last year upped the rear spring rates, and it helps. Turning the rebound all the way up, it helps with that. But the real problem, here's what happened. I jacked, and I can't believe I've never noticed this before, but I jacked the truck up to pull the wheels and tires off. I was going to pull the rear shocks and put different springs on them, just kind of doing some of the stuff that I need to get done. But this is full droop in the rear end. The ride height is 1 inch lower than this. So I only have 1 inch of droop travel on this shock. And this is so stupid of me that I've never noticed this, because I've always had to pull the shock loose to get the tire off the back. And I can't believe that I've never thought, oh shit, my droop travel is wrong, is not good. So what's happening is I go to a corner and it has more than 1 inch of body roll, and it tries to unload this inside tire. So all those other things that I kept doing to control the body roll or keep that tire planted, well, it physically couldn't keep the tire on the ground because the shock was holding it up. So thank God that I realized that now, and I'm gonna change the lower shock mount. So frustrating, but at the same time, this is all learning stuff. I messed up somewhere along the line of on the frame table. I must have had my measurements wrong, or my calculations for ride height were off or something. But anyways, I'm going to video me pulling all that stuff apart so you guys can see what I'm doing, what I'm talking about in real time. So thanks a lot. So here's something else to pay attention to. The shock's out, it's not on the jack stand, it's not on the jack, and I have my sway bar on the softest setting, and it's only allowing a little bit of droop right now. And you can feel there's some tension. That bar's working. So I'm curious to play around this season with going up another 25 pounds of spring rate and disconnecting that bar altogether on the autocross course and seeing how much better the traction situation is. In the last video, I talked a little bit about how I wanted to add ballast weight to the back of the truck. Well, not only do I want to add weight to the rear or shift weight to the rear of the truck, but I also need to be strategic in where we put the weight versus right side of the truck or left side of the truck. When I built this truck, it was just a street truck that could autocross, right? So now, if you think about it, everything's on the driver's side. I'm on the driver's side. steering wheel, steering column, gauges, pedal assembly, steering gearbox, water lines for the old supercharger system, all kinds of weight was all on the driver's side. So on the scales, we were 90-ish pounds light on the right rear versus the left rear. So the truck would definitely handle different under acceleration, right corners and left corners. So when we add ballast weight, we want to shift it to the right rear. And here's something else to show you. This is the coilover from the driver's side, and this is the one from the passenger side. You can see that we had to add quite a bit more preload just to get ride heights right. So this is another indicator of where weight needs to go. Weight needs to be going over here on the right side.